Day. It's Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained here on YouTube and Facebook. Um, I did the video on global warming, and people seem to kind of like that one. And I know in that one I said I was going to go ahead and do something on climate change. Um, so again, I kind of fell asleep a little bit early, took maybe a little, I don't know, late nap. And I'm still tired, but I had to come down here for a second, so I decided I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It may not, again, yeah, it'll be up on YouTube first because Facebook be on something. And yeah, ever since I posted that video, and then I made a comment on uh, someone's post, right? And I didn't say any curse words or anything at the moment. And everybody else was talking about slut and stuff like that. And again, it's not against those people because they're not the ones that are taking their time to go through even comments that you comment on other people's stuff that don't even have cuss words in it. It just said something about you know, what was I felt to me looks like the truth. And yeah, I guess that they didn't really like that. I used some of those cliche terms, maybe like a um, transgender, United Snakes, things like that. Um, Puppets, used to, um, you know, mass manipulate the population, something like that. And I guess they didn't like that. But like I said, nothing against the people that posted in the post, because you should be able to post and say whatever you want as long as not really that harmful. Yeah, but they didn't like it. So anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and I mean, I just find it so funny how they can micromanage us like this, but they can't find out where all of the millions of children that are missing in this world are going or have gone. They can't bring them back home. They can't put any kind of stops or slow down the motion of children and people that are being trafficked and everything, but they can find my comment on someone else's post. It's just a joke. No images or anything, just words, right? So anyhow, okay. So it says here in 1983, in the modern human caused global warming. Okay, so it says a sense or see climate plus change. So that's what we'll do. But again, it just makes me look at that here that says human caused, right? Because I think I'm starting to narrow it down here, right? Because I'm following that term to make sure that we have it right, but I'm narrowing humans down to um those who are mm, main thing not original. Doesn't mean that I'm saying that they're less of a person. I'm saying these are the titles that were given so that they can separate groups of people, right? So I'm using that because so when they're speaking, it is a reason why they're doing that. So that certain people know what they're talking about, who they're talking about when they're saying humans. Most people are going to say, oh, we're all human beings and blah, 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 blah. But no, it's a separation there, okay, between the earth, okay, which is that is organic, okay. And again, I coin it as saying it is the pre, okay, uh, the pre Genesis primordial beings that were here on this plane in this realm or whatnot, uh, prior to the story of Genesis. That which was the rib or possibly DNA that was taken out of a certain group of people that were either very close to the original people or the original people themselves, like a indigenous person or the original people themselves, in order to form a group of people. So when the dust was being used with whatever it was and put together, that is the forming of something, of the archetype, which would be the original. Okay. Okay. So, but just maybe a so-called lighter version. Um, okay. In a general sense, right? Um, or just the mixing of one portion of earth, organic, original, aboriginal earth, let's say from Asia, when uh, Asians were darker hue, and then original group from the Americas, what they mixed together, and they both had a uh, darker pigment to their skin, right? So I think that that was what it said, let the earth join with the earth. I think that that was what it was talking about, to first get that get the two different groups, the foreign and the foreign and the original, to mix. Okay. And then after that is when, far after that, that's when we get to $5 Indians and stuff like that. Okay. So anyhow, let's keep on going and let's look at climate. Okay. So now, um, late 14th century, are we in the fourth day of Genesis? Horizontal zone of the Earth's surface. Okay. Measured by lines parallel to the equator. Okay. Region, part of the Earth. Uh, Whenever and this says Latin clima or clima, and whenever we're talking about genitive or something, I pay attention to genetics, okay, or genes, or even Genesis, okay. So the region slope of the Earth, okay, the slope of the Earth. Let's. I'm trying to get here as quickly as possible. Literally, an inclination, Now, don't that remind you of like, oh, I have an inkling that this is going on or something. It's kind of like a something, okay? A slope of the earth from equator to pole, okay? To lean, okay? Um, and this is also what reminds me of uh, something having its back bent, right? Like from the Bible scripture, okay? Ancient geographers divided, see? See, zoology, uh, is it geology when we're talking about geographers? Okay, maybe. Divided the earth. See this? See this? So again, on that physical realm, this probably happened, yes. But again, it goes deeper. It always goes deeper. There's always parallel duality, um, allegory. There's always something else there that is hidden on. Like I told you guys the other day, even people now using terms like star seeds and things like this. Okay. Um, Everything that they have put so far out there that you cannot reach, when we're talking about planets and outer space, we're talking about the ends of the earth, when we're talking about God in the sky and the devil under the ground. All this is stuff that you cannot ever verify on your own. Again, but it's also parts of, um, again, if you even think that really somebody took some dirt and put some mud on it and made somebody and it came, that sounds allegorical to me. It sounds like it has a another meaning. Okay, you're given the thought of something or the perception of something, but it's actually talking about something else, and that's actually talking about, like I said, splicing or taking one group and doing something um, with it. So again, all of that, like the heavens is within you because it's your mental. That is the highest or the seventh heaven, seventh chakra, again, when you get into that crown or corona. Okay. So again, and that's reaching the highest peak. And I think that's when you make the connection. Some of the things that are being said in the scripture, again, also confirms this for me. Okay. Um, that this is what we're talking about. So they can take a conversation from a Jesus figure or someone that's talking about something about how you obtain this with God. And if you really are really quiet and still, and if you really use etymology and you just slow down and take it piece by piece, you'll start to kind of, even if that's why sometimes I like to just listen to the words. Okay. Sometimes even just reading them is not enough for me. I will have to listen to. Okay. And then some of these things just slip right on in and just boom, there's the puzzle piece that I was looking for. Can you see? And now ask myself these questions. Can you see that we're really talking about? He's saying something about in the mind. Again, pineal is mentioned in the Bible. Seeing this one of these particular gods in their sleep or in a vision or something, a dream. You know, again, okay. So, yeah. So anyhow, to zones based on the angle of the sun on the slope of the Earth's surface. Now, okay. Now, this may not have anything to do with it, but when I was just reading that, it was making me think a lot about how they would talk about sloped foreheads and heads and shapes. And again, because at first they used to use the skull and stuff like that to try to see what so-called race people were and things like this. So again, knowing that some of the Egyptians and some of the other figures that we've seen in the past have a sun disk or something to do with the sun on their head, even serpents and things like that. It just makes me wonder about that and how they did talk about like slopes on the forehead of like the what do you call um, Australians and stuff like that. Kind of let them know, certain things. Okay. And then the surface also is just in your forehead or your front, or again, are we talking frontal lobe? Are we talking about, you know, something like that before or in the front of, okay, the surface, okay? So, and the length of day, okay? So, and the length of day. Again, not sure, okay? Um, let's see, some reckon 24 or 30 climates between Meroe on the Upper Nile in Sudan, okay, and the mythical, this is where they put truth under, is myth and folklore and things like this, right? Um, uh, Rappahannock Mountains, which were supposed to bound the Arctic. Hmm. A change of climate took place, okay? Um, Going north at a place where the day was a half hour longer or shorter, according to the season, than the starting point. Others counted seven. Huh, seven what? Okay, wait a minute. Each dominated by a particular planet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or 12 dominated by zodiac signs. Hmm, interesting. Changes of temperature. Again, it's kind of like talking about, us in a sense. Like the seven chakras, and then what would be the 12? I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out with that. Um, I know I've seen something about this before, but I just, it's not hitting on me right now. So, yeah. Okay. So changes of temperature gradually came to be considered more important. And by the late 14th century, the word was being used in a sense, a district, I'm sorry, a distinct region. Okay. So there's a certain region of the Earth's surface considered with respect to weather. It kind of reminds me of like a shaman or a rain man or something like this. The sense shift to combined results of weather associated with a region, characteristic, condition of a country or region. Now, that would be interesting to look at region, huh? Excuse me. Let's see. Um, with reference to the variation of heat, cold, rainfall, wind, etc. Um, is attested by 16th century, figuratively, of mental or moral atmosphere. Okay, a mental or more kind of like your moral compass is kind of reminding me of even. Okay, so anyhow, let's move on. Let's just look what this says. Okay, to lean. Okay, a small hill. Okay, let's see if there's anything interesting down here. uh, Bend. Okay, again, this is reminding me of the back being bent forever that we talk about in the Bible. Anytime I say something like that and you don't know, again, because it's a waste for me, again, because my mind just be going to be remembering scriptures and everything like that. But I always tell you guys, this internet can be your best friend because it can, all you have to do is Google backs bent forever and the Bible will take you where it is. You can go to your Bible, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so, and other stuff may pop up that might be interesting as well. Okay. And it says clevis, declivity. Okay, to cause to bend, bend down, turn aside. Okay, to cause to slope, slant, incline, crooked, wrong, literally, okay, left, literally slang. Okay, so again, let's go. And it's got, and that small hill is something immense. Even is making me think of emerge. When in Genesis it says, "Let the dry land emerge," um, and when we look at the dome Earth, okay, and you see that little hill or peak of Earth or whatever that's in the center there, um, you know, kind of reminds me of that part there. Hmm. Okay, so anyway, let's keep on going because there's only one little piece left. Okay, a little. Okay, this one might be a little, but again, we're not going to take too long. Okay, so 12th century, are we in the second day or the first? Again, because how they do it was the 18th century would be, the 1700s or whatever. Okay, because again, I think that like many of these scientists and some of these people are speaking out saying that it seems that, again, however you'd like to understand that or take that in, is 1,000 years is missing. Rather it has to do with something of them altering time when they altered the calendar, things like that. Okay, so again, change, to alter, make different, change. Okay, to substitute one for another, to make, okay, something other than what it was. So again, this is all, again, changing. This is also what we're talking about in Genesis. Okay, okay, because again, the indigenous people will be the offspring, okay, of, okay. So, let's see. To make something other than what it was, to cause to turn or pass from one state to another, one status, one class, one whatever, to become different, to be altered. Okay. Excuse me. We're talking a lot about the earth. Even I put a post up on Facebook. I think it was yesterday about the earth being the goodness, I can't remember, something in which the Indian is basically saying is what has uh, I'm not gonna go back to it or look at it or anything. But it's just saying something basically that makes me think that we're talking about the Indians being the one that spread um, and peopled the earth, or that peopled the earth or peopled the world in a sense. Okay, I think I put it on Instagram, Facebook, and in the Facebook group. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, to change, alter, exchange, switch. Again, so this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about slaves or Slavic people brought in by 1609. I mean, the 1600s or whatever. Who were they talking about? Again, they took your nationality or your standing, okay? They had to give you someone's. So again, um and they even skipped over calling you Indian, even though they admit that they say that some of these people went with these people, and that's how they became mixed in with the groups because they were running from slave masters. But that's totally incorrect, because again, a lot of these natives, some of these families were also, and not all of them, okay? Remember, do your own research, because everybody's going to see different things, because we're looking in all different directions. And again, that's just what it is. Okay. But if you specifically try to look for this, you may be able to find something that natives were helping some of these people in trapping um, originals. Okay. So, yeah. So again, to switch, they didn't even, want to give you that term. They wanted to go ahead and just call you something totally different, indeed. And then to say who came from Africa. Um, Well, again, hopefully, it's just one small image and one small look in time. But I hope to show you guys how we can kind of look at other images and stuff to see what they're talking about when they say what they say underneath these images. But if you pay attention, you'll see that we're really actually talking about something else. So a lot of allegorical stuff in sketches. Okay. So anyhow, so the old switcheroony, even how you see people throwing up that so-called dynasty sign, or the pyramid, um, throwing up the pyramid. But a lot of times, again, when you see Donald Trump talking, go back and look at some of his interviews before this whole COVID thing happened. You'll always see him throwing that down, right? And it reminds me of when you're looking at paganism and when you're looking at kind of so-called witchy stuff. It reminds me of the earth, okay? The earth symbol, okay? Um, and also it reminds me of also bringing a certain order back to things, okay, by turning the world kind of like upside down or right side up, actually. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, to barter, okay. Bend, okay. Crook, sounds like somebody crook that stole your shit. To churn, to change, okay. Curved, prisoner, kind of like a prisoner of war, maybe. Um, yeah, says tribute here for Middle Irish. Okay. And again, undergo an alteration from the 1300s. And, I guarantee that if you go back to Genesis 3, maybe even 2 and 4, okay? Again, because like I said, with the time switch, um, I don't know. This is just my uh, theoretic way of timeline of using this, and it actually just works for me. Okay. And I think it will for you too. Okay. So again, to undergo alteration. So again, I'm not going to do it here because the video will be too long. Maybe I'll do it towards the end so people that don't want to wait around don't have to. But yeah, um, yeah. If you go back, you'll see something going on. You'll see a change or alteration or something going on, because I think that that's when he actually made it light or something. Okay. So let's see, especially to give an to become different. Okay. To give an equivalent for in smaller part of the same kind. Huh. To give an equivalent for in smaller parts of the same kind. Hmm. Okay, see, like, again, look at this. Okay. Meaning to take off clothes and put on other ones. Reminds me of the garden again, when Adam and Eve, so called, um thought they were naked, and God said, how did you know you were naked? And they said, because, whatever, whatever. And then he what then gave them the skin, okay, of an animal, right? Animal can be a person, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. So he gave them um this skin, and again, I thought it was some, because all the images they give you are going to show them with like a piece of like deer skin somewhere on their body or something. But again, you know, allegory, something that showing you something that is actually talking about something else. And then the fig leaf, okay, again, which I do think has something to do with something else, a apron or Freemasonry, something is going on here. Okay. Okay. So to give an equivalent for a smaller part of the same kind. We've already read that. And to take off your clothes and put on new ones. Okay. So again, that's what they were supposed to be in the garden doing anyway. But this whole thing about the fruit, okay, and God coming to check and see how it was going in the garden, to see how shit was growing. See, this also reminded me of a book of antiquity that I'm going to be sharing with you guys soon, hopefully, that has something to do with the king. I don't know if it was Henry or another king, um, in his vineyards or in his gardens and things like that, and how he would come and check on them and then talk to the people about them and the care of them. And the care that he's talking about sounds so much like breeding houses for slaves or subgroups or humans, people. Okay. I mean, it's just so funny. I mean, when you really start looking at this stuff, it just speaks. It speaks volumes, and it speaks very clearly. It speaks very clearly. So I'm gonna share that guys with you guys. I don't know if I'll do that, or again, since I can't post on Facebook at the moment, I might have to go ahead and just read it or just do a quick share with you guys. Okay. But I found it very interesting to hear how they were talking about so-called plants and animals back then. And that's why I say be careful when we're reading zoology and stuff like that, because a lot of times they hitting on something else. Okay. So again, let's see. Now, sorry. I mean, I just can't get rid of this clearing throat thing that's been going on forever. Um, so act or fact of changing. Okay. Exchange, trade, slave trade, kind of something like that. Recompense. That's a good one that we should look up. It's in the biblical text. Uh, Reciprocation. So again, maybe that means of someone giving some of their stock and someone giving of theirs. And again, this is maybe where they made a big mistake, because I think a lot of us are mixed with a lot of these different groups. A lot of originals are mixed with other originals and other groups and other, and I think that, I think they were trying to do that to scatter everything, but it just didn't work properly, because again, I think it has something to do with this charge or this frequency that's going on, um and some of this information being dropped, in the way we can all see things a little bit differently, again, because again, I don't know, there's something going on here. Okay. So to switch, meaning a different situation. Now, again, so again, this is like I was telling you about the ancient Egyptian caste system or system, something like that. But everybody at the bottom was on the same level. They didn't treat. There wasn't someone that was treated worse than removed from the whole thing and treated totally different than other people, like the undesirable or untouchable or Dalit people in the caste system now. The whole bottom class, no matter what color your skin or what hue you were, they were treated fairly and all the same. So again, they not only put you at the bottom, they took the bottom off and put it underneath the ground and decided that we will never let this be a nation again. And then they've been dancing on top of you and bringing their children and bringing other groups, other people from their places that they originate from, into your plane. And some of these people are darker hue, because again, I am seeing that, and a lot of us know that um, uh, darker pigmented people were all over this plane or planet or world prior to colonization. Remember, the whole thing had to get colonized. America just happened to be at the end, the tail end of it. Okay. And um this happened so many different places. The altering of the archetype. the original, okay? So they want to make you think it all started in Africa. That's a damn lie. It's not. The outer Africa theory should be dead to everyone. And again, the only people that they expect to still be claiming that, or they say, oh, we all came from Africa, when they're talking about you. When they talk about Scandinavians, they don't sit there and say that they all came from Africa. You know what I'm saying? They let Americans sit with that silly ass shit because, again, I feel as though the origins of all, and if you want to say it was all even one thing like a Pangea at one point in time, is that the people of the Americas may be the people that sprung out and again, uh, help them populate certain areas across the way. Okay, so anyhow, uh, I think that they were taking people from this landmass for a while and scattering them before they even brought it up in their story. And I think they were using it under the guise of trees and everything. And then you'll hear some people, again, like I said before, make reference to us being of the trees, why the tree was even a part of um, the whole Adam and Eve thing. And it happened to be a fruit tree, okay? Family tree, even, right? Okay. So then you look at even when it comes to the uh, Avatar people, and they lived in that huge tree, the tree of life, or something like this. So again, and then we have petrified things and other, earthworks that people say resemble tree trunks and things like this, extremely large ones too. So again, there's mysteries again that you know, it's nice to look into them and see where they fit, no matter how far fetched, right? Okay. Because again, the whole concept of this particular God that's in the sky looking down at you, but is not doing nothing about the way the world is going right now. And again, why does he have to wait and do it gradually? If you think he is making some changes, why wouldn't he just? It's just I find it funny that Satan was supposed to be locked up for 1,000 years, and now that he coming out, Nagas is waking up, or the serpent. But no, the Satan and the serpent is not the same thing. So you know, okay. So anyhow, let's see, something substituted for something else, a place where merchants meet to do business. Trade routes, maybe? I don't know. Meaning the passing from life to death is biblical. Again, 1610. So here we go. The sixth day, because then again, everything was completed in the sixth day, I believe. Okay. But the seventh day is the one that he actually, rested and said, this and that, my work is done, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So when we're talking about the passing from life to death, that means that you were life. You gave life, originals. But someone took a portion of that and created new life. Because remember, there was already another creation story that had happened in the biblical text. But the Lord God, which is the creator in the second chapter of Genesis, God, G-O-D with the capital G, was creating in the first, and he was done. And then after he was done in the second, that's when the Lord God decided to form he a man of something that was already there. And he created him and he put him in the east of the garden, Washington, D.C. Okay, maybe. Okay. Okay. So again, that brought you from being life itself to being dead by law or put asunder. Okay. That's why you have to keep everything around you keep you vibrating on low by the effects of things that are going on around you, and then holding back the truth about who you are, right? To keep you there. Only everybody done been lied to, but you the only people that they want to continue to lie to, continue to treat a certain way. We allow them to do some of these things though, okay? Because we're aware of some of these things now. So now you got the right to make the difference or make a change about it now that you know. When you know something or you know better, you got to damn do better. That's just the only way it is. Oh, it might be hard because it's messed up that they did it to us and it's only but stop that complaining shit. It's time to move on. It's time to see it for what it is. This is what you would tell your children. Sometimes we got to think about what we would tell them. Because we tell them a lot of shit sometimes, and then as a whole, collectively, adults in our so-called communities don't do the same thing. We don't do the same thing that we tell them. And when they see this, they do what they see you do. They don't do what you say for them to do, if that kind of goes that way. Okay? So again, the passing from life to death. So that's when you died. So who again died on that cross? The body can be a large group of people or your personal body. The body of Christ. Who been hanging on anything? They've given us the perception that you the only people that been hanging on shit. Even though I found so-called Mexicans and Indians being lynched as well. Just like you'll find that so-called white folks came over here as slaves or Slavic people. They don't want to give you not one movie about that. They'll give you a movie about the Holocaust or something. But again, who were those people really? And did it really happen the way they said it did? See. So, again, this whole change that happened so long ago, and this is talking about 14th century, so it's the third or fourth day, possibly. And then the 1600s could be the fifth. So whatever was going on was your passing into coming down. And I guarantee you, if you go back and just read the portions that say, and this happened on the fifth day and the third day and you will see, you will be able to pull this in and what all we're talking about and see what we're really talking about in that text. The financial sense of balance of money. Okay, we don't need to read that part. Make change. Any sequence other than the uh, diatonic. I don't know. Let's see, ring changes. And I'm wondering if the ring changes have something to do with like the what did we just say? The equator or the, you know, what the things is, the rings, okay? Repeat in every possible order, a change of heart. Also reminded me of the God making the Pharaoh's heart harden. Reference to women, change of life. Okay. So again, I think that's it. Let's see what this says. Prisoner. Chant, sing. Okay. A vagabond. Slant, edge, brink. Corner. Kind of remind me of a cornerstone. Wait a minute. Oh. Oh. Almost my last name. Hey. So anyhow, corner of the eye. Oh, okay. So okay, maybe we are talking something about that. The cornerstone or the corner thing, the peak, that is on the money on the back of the bills. Okay. Um. Hmm. But there are difficulties. This is saying can't. I'm thinking chant. Um. To speak in a whining voice. Hmm. To speak in the jargon of thieves and vagabonds. Okay. Yeah. So anyhow, I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Oh, the rim or the wheel. Okay. Also, that's talking about the makes me think about the two wheels that we talked about not too long ago that are sometimes seen on some of the if you see like a old image of the queen or something, she's holding this. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's like a globe like shaped thing, and it has these two axes or wheels on it, and then maybe have a cross at the top too. Um, But then also the Bible, I think, talk about these two wheels or something like that. And so up here it even says iron tire of a wheel. So I don't know. And I know we talk about Ezekiel's wheel too, but hmm, what is this? Compare Welsh cant bordering of a circle tire. Yeah, this is kind of reminding me of all that actually. Hmm. It says something about here about enduring. It is used continuing without variation of meaning for many generations. Hmm. Hmm. Universal. Hmm. So, anyways, I thought I saw something here too that I just wanted to look at. Teutonic. Again, I think this is. Um, there was a some Teutonic Indians in South America or um, South Central America ish that I was reading about recently, and then you see Slavnik. Okay, Romanic. This is reminding me actually of a book I was just looking at, or a dictionary that was saying something about. It was a dictionary, in the portion on language, and it broke down three groups of American uh, languages or linguistics. I don't know, and these groups are reminding me of the groups that were on there, in their little brackets or whatever, as they split it up as Indian, Indo-Asian, and all that other stuff. That was it wasn't talking about the Indian. Anyway, okay, y'all. I'm just going on and on for no reason at this point. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon. I think that that was really uh, all. Did we look at this already? Yeah, we did. Recompense and all that. Okay. Yeah, I think that was it. So, yeah, so climate change. Hmm. Just going over it because I hate having to redo videos or have whole videos on here that I didn't do anything with in it. Climb. A tract or region of Earth. Kind of remind me of a summit. A summit, huh? Habitate something. New climb. Hmm. Okay. The only one that looks like it may be something um, that we may want to look at is climatic. Having to do with something. Yielding Slavic. Hmm. Okay. All right. So again, I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to also join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained. But I think I'm gonna need like a day, maybe. I can't remember if it said 24 or 48 hours that I can't go on Facebook and post anything or like anything or anything. So again, yeah. Uh, but you can still go ahead and come in, and I think I can still add people to the group. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for your support, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.